A very good afternoon to you all. Friends, this is Dr. Amarjit Kaur. I am faculty of Accounting and Business Communication at the Department of Management, Gurugram University. I am heading that faculty of Commerce and Management as Dean, and I am also looking after Gender Study Center of Excellence for Women. So, as a director, I have authored about 9 books and 56 research papers. This is my privilege to be here and to talk on business presentations. As the name suggests, business presentations, we are going to talk about how someone who is working in a business or for a business, how he or she presents about any idea, any information, any product, any service, what are the contents in it, and how can we make these presentations very effective. This is going to be the discussion in the next few minutes. So friends, business presentation, what does it mean? So let's assume that you want to go and meet a client to talk about the product your company deals in, and you are going to to the client in the same city where your business is, but you are not carrying your laptop, you are not making any PowerPoint presentation. Let's just use it as an example to understand the difference between presentation and business presentation and the meaning of presentation itself. So we are assuming a situation that you have to go to a company to sell the product of your company, So what will you do? You should be knowing about the product details. You should be able to talk about the specifications it has, the features it has, how is it better from other products available in the market, how it is efficient, how the delivery terms are good. So it's a pitch to sell, right? So anybody will say it's a meeting, right? You may assume that this is a sales meeting, this is a marketing meeting, like that. Of course, it is a meeting to ensure or to grab some sales, but you are actually presenting that product, that service which your company is selling, right? So it is such a wider term. I assume that you are not carrying your laptop. I purposefully made this assumption so that you could understand that PowerPoint presentation is also a presentation only where we are using technology. So we are presenting a product in that PowerPoint presentation, where we are using this PowerPoint tool, which is technology, of course, and then we are presenting about the product. The same thing, the same idea that we want to convince the prospective customer about our product, our service. So I hope you are able to get the idea that whenever we are formally introducing or sharing some information about a business, about a product, about the idea itself or the practice we have. I have an idea which I am trying to sell to venture capitalist, right? Venture capitalist, we know the people, company or a person who are supporting the business idea, who are investing in the business, right? So you are just selling an idea. You are introducing an idea about the whole concept you have in your mind about the product. How will it work? How will you market it? Who are the users? What is the prospective financials outcome out of it, the sales, the cash flows, etc., etc. So you are convincing someone with the idea. You don't have a product in hand, mind you, right? Or a service in hand or a process in hand. You are presenting that this is the idea I have, or this is the product I will produce in case you want to go for manufacturing. I have this prototype and we can scale this up for the market you have in your mind. So there you are selling an idea, but we will say that we are selling an idea. This is a conversation. Of course it is a conversation, but this will be known as a business presentation, right? So a practice, I want, let's say I am working in a government system and I go and convince a private organization, selling the idea of record keeping. It's a practice that we have at government systems. So how do we keep our records? So that is a practice I am sharing and I am presenting about that, right? So I may use a PowerPoint tool, I may use any other tool for that matter, that is irrespective. Okay, we will in future we will talk about PowerPoint presentation. They are very important nowadays, but please have a clarity that business presentation is a formal introduction of a product, service, practice, idea. So when we are presenting, what does it mean? It means we are actually making a public speak, right? We may be presenting in front of 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. So it involves public speaking, right? And it may involve some graphic, some visual material as well. I may carry some brochure in hand, I may carry some product in hand, I may carry some pictures in hand, or I may simply use a board and a marker or a pen and draw something on the board, right? So some visual, some graphic material. So and to whom I am presenting? To the professionals, to the people who are stakeholders, who are interested, any group of people who are interested for that. Okay. So this business presentation could be in the form of a speech only, a speech given to an individual or a group of individuals. It all depends upon on the need of the hour. I want to do that. I am presenting that speech. I am speaking to somebody. Why? Because either I want to inform about the new development we have in place, the new policy we are launching, to inform about a collaboration we are going to sign or MOU we are going to sign. That is informing. I may like to inspire, I have a need to inspire my team to think about a different policy, different process, or to adopt a new software. So I am inspiring my team. Or to save energy, for that example, I am just inspiring that please switch off the camera or switch off the computer or fan or air conditioner when you are stepping out of your office. So I am inspiring the need of energy saving. So even that is a presentation. We may think it's a meeting. Of course it's a meeting. We met and thereafter we presented, right? So it becomes business presentation. I may like to convince to adopt something, to drop something, to work together. I may like to convince the idea of working in a team, or availing no leave during the high season or the peak season of the business. So I am convincing with an idea. I may like to motivate them to work hard. I may like to motivate the young generation to be more attentive, or motivate them to take care of their family and as well as the work, to have a work-life balance. It could be any idea, So the business presentation is a speech which is to inform, inspire, convince and motivate them. Now, sharing of an idea as a solution to any problem is also called as a presentation. I am just sharing some idea where I am providing some solution. So even that becomes a business presentation, right? Let's say there are 10 people who are meeting up, and everybody was told to come up with this idea to solve a new problem of declining sales for a particular product. So there were, let's say, 10 people in the sales team. Each one is giving a solution to this problem through their presentation, with or without the help of PowerPoint, irrespective, right? So even that is also a business idea. So with that discussion I had so far, I believe it is clear to you that it is a purpose-led summary of key information about company plans, products, practices, idea, anything. So every time whenever we are presenting something, there is a purpose. So business presentation is always purpose-led presentation, purpose-led information, right? Some sharing of information. So, and it can be designed or it can be meant for internal people or for external people. In few of the example, for example, the sales team example, it was internal meeting and where we are presenting the solution, to the declining sales in a particular area. So this was internal presentation. And the first example we assumed that you are going and presenting to some future or prospective client about the product your company sells. That is external audience, right? So the audience of a presentation could be internal, could be external. So by the discussion we have so far, it is clear that the presentation conveys information from speaker to an audience. Audience could be internal or external, but there is somebody who is speaking or presenting, right? So a speaker is always there because business presentation is a form of your oral communication, right? And this refers to the ability to create, to develop and to deliver an effective presentation, and that can be learned, right? So this ability to create a good presentation, that ability to develop good content to deliver during the presentation, and to make it very effective presentation with the help of pictures, diagram, data, colors, all those emojis, what not. So if we are using all that, so this is something which can be learned. I remember the presentation I used to make in the initial year of my career, and now I see a difference, honestly speaking. And this is true for everyone else. If you are conscious about the business presentation you make on daily basis, on regular basis, irrespective it is a PowerPoint or otherwise just an oral presentation, certainly we all learn, right? So it means this is a learned skill. That's another important element of business presentation, that this skill can be developed, can be groomed with our efforts, with time, with experience. So if I say this skill can be learned, so what is presentation skills in actually? So it's an ability, of course, right? Which one needs in order to deliver a very good, very effective, very compelling, engaging, informative, presentation. I want to make a compelling, approach. I want to make a compelling request to somebody to adopt a new policy or to honor new policy or to cooperate with the team members. So I should have those points which will actually compel the audience or the listener to think in that direction, right? I need to have the skill to engage them so that they feel they are part of the decision, right? I should have my content should be designed in a way, or my flow of the presentation should be in a way that people are given chance to give feedback, right? They are given chance to talk to you, to get engaged with you, and finally transform their views, their idea, their own stand about that. It should be enlightening, it should be educational, and may or may not be instructive all the time. So it means you need to have the ability, if you really want to develop the presentation skill, to take care of all these facts. Of course, gradually we can improve. We can improve in different aspects of the presentation skills. But these are the areas of presentation skills to be taken care. Another thing in presentation skill is that it involves public speaking, and not only the speaking is only thing which is important, other than the speech itself, what is the tone of the voice? What is your body language, your eye contact, your facial expression, how creative you were while presenting, You just started by, without introducing yourself, without breaking the ice, without giving any background, or even without using any story. You just jump to the point. You started or with the conclusion first, or you just started with the extras, and then you came to the conclusion at the end, right? What was your strategy? So this is what you have to think as a presenter. So your tone of voice, your body language, the creativity in the presentation itself, the delivery, these are the important point to make effective presentation, right? So if you want to develop presentation skills, you need to take care of all these facts which we just discussed. Now, what are the essentials for a business presentation? The first thing is it has to have a clear objective. You must have, objective of the communication, because business presentation means we are communicating. So it has to have a very clear objective that I am presenting a business, presentation to the audience for the purpose of selling an idea, a process, a product, a service. I want to communicate the new launch. I want to motivate them. I want to influence their decision. What is the purpose? Why am I here to talk about something, right? So you should have a very clear objective in mind for the business presentation. It must be useful to the audience. You are not there to just spend 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's just not for that. Whatever you are talking, it should be making sense to the audience. Unless you made them interested in the talk, in the presentation you are making, it's going to be unuseful. To make it useful, you have to take care of the interest of the audience. This is the second essential in business presentation. Then when you are presenting, you should be very, very good with the facts, with the numbers, with the pictures, with the content you are presenting. You cannot go cold, you cannot go just wrong with any number, any fact or any question being raised during the presentation. So it should be well rehearsed. If you have rehearsed, you will be able to respond to the feedback, is important, and you will be able to respond it well if you have rehearsed it well, right? The next point is, it's very essential for a business presentation that it uses minimum text possible. It means we should have graphs, pictures, pictorials, visuals, sounds, whatever possible. If we are making PowerPoint presentation, now there are so many sporting tools available. If we are not making a PowerPoint presentation, but otherwise we are presenting without the help of PowerPoint, then even then you can take help of so many props. I'm explaining you something and I show you a pen in hand, a wristwatch in my arm like this, and quoting this product is available at this price, whatever I'm explaining, right? Or the product itself, or the brochure, or somebody who you can take who has been using your product. If you are making a sales pitch, you are presenting about the company's product. So use minimum text and use other things, including brochures, props, visuals, in your presentation, in your business presentation. Another thing is, when you are beginning, make sure you have an index. If you are making a PowerPoint, or otherwise orally, give a brief that what will be the flow of your presentation, and also do share the contact information of the presenter. Whosoever is presenting, he or she should be sharing that I am available on this number, I am available on this ID, on LinkedIn, whatever source you want to share. Then it must include the call to action. Why am I presenting? Why am there? What is the purpose of the business presentation? So you should, in the beginning or at the end or in between. So there are many strategies which we will be discussing in a few minutes from now. What is the call to action? Am I expecting my audience to just listen to you and don't do anything? That is also a possibility if you are there just to inform, right? The call to action is just be aware that this has happened, that's all. Call to action could be to buy the product you are selling. Call to action could be to change the practice if it is for the internal meeting they were doing. So you must be sure about what is the call to action, and it should come up during your presentation very clearly. Try to have story-like structure. You should try to build a narrative around the objective of the presentation. So it's always a best way if we have the structure framed in the story form, right? So story-like structure is a very, very important way, or best way rather. Make sure you present in a way that you engage audience, right? By prompting them for question, propelling them to think, seeking do you agree, asking them to stand and respond, or just to say yes or no. Just check with them off and on. If we have a very large gathering, you may try to reach out to the last person in that room and check either they are listening, either you are reachable to them, and then their views, their opinion, ask them to challenge you, if you are confident about your product or service. So make sure the audience are engaged, right? If somebody is nodding, appreciate him or her. Somebody answers, appreciate him or her, by saying, oh, very good question, appreciate the question, like that. So make audience engagement possible. Design your presentation in a way that it becomes possible. And ensure that delivery is effective. When you are talking, you are loud enough to reach out to the last person. Make sure there is no obstacle in between. When you are delivering, your voice is clear, the view is clear. If it is too far away, from the audience, there is no other obstacle in between you and the audience, right? So make delivery very effective. And the last point here is the multimedia tools. Try to use multimedia tools like PowerPoint presentation, there's so many tools available now. So try to make best use. People are making podcasts, people are using a couple of more things for the purpose of business presentation. So make sure you use those multimedia tools and make your presentation more effective. After this, friends, I would like to discuss the importance of business presentations. Of course, by this time we are clear that what is the meaning of business presentations, what are essentials in a business presentation, and now the importance. So, as we know that business presentations are most wisely used formal oral communication tool, right, with or without PowerPoint. So it's a very popular means of business communication, and for two reasons. One, it allows the presenter to seek or to use non-verbal cues. I'm smiling, I am looking at the audience, I'm nodding, I'm raising my hand, I'm using non-verbal cues, right? So as we all know, in the communication, non-verbal cues are, the body language really plays a very important role. So because this is an oral communication, so this is an advantage that we can use non-verbal cues along with the words we are using. And another important point of business presentation is that we get instant feedback, right? I am talking and I can see either my audience are able to comprehend what I am saying or not, and then if I feel that they are not, I can illustrate the situation with some good example. I can change the the line of action, the presentation flow even. I can go back to what I mentioned few minutes ago, looking at their faces. So I'm getting the instant feedback. Someone may say that they are not getting it, or one may not say, but their face, their eyes will speak about it. So we can change our response immediately. That's the benefit, that's the importance of business presentation. And also it enables the presenter, the speaker, to speak or to deliver the message with clarity, assuring that everybody understands it, because I am able to see their responses on the spot. So I will ensure that they understand, and then certainly it enhances the engagement, the productivity and the performance of employees, and the company has better outcome, right? It helps individuals in their career, so they make good moves in the business, which helps a business to succeed. So the presentation is helping one individual to groom himself by working on in this area, right? And consequently or subsequently the business is getting benefited, right? The business is succeeding because of the good people who are good presenters. So they are able to sell the idea, sell the product, sell the service for the company and bring benefit to the business. And people who are good presenters, they know actually how to manage their time. So one who is a good presenter is gradually ending up becoming a good time manager as well, right? So and then good presentation skill, it helps making the connection, long term connection for the business, long term connections for the within the business, within the teams and with the external parties, and at the end of the day it helps the business where the employees were such. So this is the importance of good business presenters and presentation skills. So I hope you guys were able to comprehend all the concepts which we discussed. I would like to sign off now. Thank you very much.